Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch and this is Veronique Arsenault, and we're here to bring you a great little talk show from little old Miramichi.
It's true, it's true. Unfortunately, Judy was busy today, so she wasn't able to join us. So
we're
it's you
two
and
amigos.
I know, we're taking on the world today.
Definitely, we've got a great show lined up. A couple of great guests.
I know.
We have Rachel from Carrefour Beausoleil. She's going to be talking to us about their community center, and then later on we have Bernie Copa.
I know.
From the Miramichi Folk Park. Renews.
So two very different things.
Yes, exactly. Lots to talk about.
Yes.
And as usual, we're going to start off with our little chit chat.
Yes.
Quick chat portion of the show. And
like
what's been going on and what we've been up to and what's all happening. So much.
I know.
So
I know.
much.
It was a busy weekend.
I've got so many notes that we're like, we're not going to get this all in
today.
But we're going to start off with your positive quote for today.
We will.
Or thought.
Yeah, it's a thought.
Poem?
It's a thought.
It's a thought.
Yeah, it's
fire away.
Yeah, more of a thought than a. So start every day with new hope. Leave bad memories behind and have faith for a better tomorrow.
Exactly.
I know. Well, I think,
Just start each day with that.
Yeah.
Like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's hard to do if you woke up late, your alarm didn't go off, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in, in people's negativity and, and where they're stuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and it's hard to, like, if you've got your cell phone by your bed, or and we're all victims or guilty, however you want to say that, of, turn it off and stuff like that. That would be the last thing I want to wake up to, is my phone going off because someone's saying something about someone or something.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's
not
funny.
a great way to start your day.
No, and it's tough, right? Because, I mean, today we had a fantastic announcement that we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. And I had probably 100 positive comments out of that, announcement this morning. But I've seen a couple now that were not as positive, and I'm kind of stuck there. And I don't want to be.
No.
I don't want to be, because I want.
And there was probably way more positive ones.
Completely. And I want,
why is it those couple of little negative ones just drag us down like that?
I know. And I want people to understand why it's a good thing. I think that's why it's so close to my heart.
Okay.
And I know that the people that are making those comments, are great people too, and they have wonderful things that are close to their hearts, and they're this just isn't one of them. So I'm hoping that as time goes on and people understand more about the initiative, that they'll understand why it's a good thing.
Exactly. That's just it. So we'll talk more about that later.
We will.
This past weekend, we were both off. We didn't really have much to do other than to, the house and things like that, but to just enjoy being off. But there was so much going on internationally. Big. The inauguration was on Friday.
Yeah.
I worked, but I'm not going to lie, I kept tuning in on live feed, checking it out, and it didn't take long for people to voice their opinions, either for or against, of how that all went down.
Yeah, for sure.
My personal take on it, I listened to some of the speech, I did. The little things that threw me off was, how not a gentleman he is. I'm really taken back by that knowing the cameras are going to be there, watching his every move, he still doesn't step up to the plate to his wife, even. Just the simplest of things.
Well, it's tough, right? Because I think it's hard to compare the two first families, right? Because, I mean, I loved watching the Obamas. Just in general, I thought they were very genuine. I mean, none of us.
True.
None of us.
I never once thought it was fake or an act or anything else like that. Ever.
No, but they just seem very genuine and open and very comfortable with their relationship as well as the public, right? And letting the public
them know that they care about each other.
Yeah. So
respect.
Yeah.
Respect each
so
other.
It just seemed, and I know I'd seen a couple of clips of, President Trump not waiting for Mrs. Trump as he walked up the stairs and different, different things over the weekend. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay. I'm going to chalk it up to nerves on his part.
Okay.
Being his first official kind of, presidential spotlight.
Okay, because he's never been in the
spotlight,
I know. Right?
I'm trying to be kind. So that, he kind of forgot, his manners. And I thought she looked spectacular.
She did.
I thought, she seems,
She was trying to really come across as being presidential, as being the first lady, and stepping it up a notch with class, and dressing appropriately, and knowing her place or whatever that may be. And but all in all, I'm going to have to sit down and listen to more excerpts out of this speech to get a full feel of the whole deal.
I found an interesting part, though. I don't know if you saw a clip of it, but they showed Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton just before they walked out, because they were invited to see the inaugurational parade, walk by with them.
Oh, okay.
So they were honored in that way as well. So I found it really interesting. She stood there just before she was about to walk out, right? And they were behind these closed doors, and she took this deep breath, and I just thought, she is one of the strongest women I've ever seen.
Well, because she's not just the former president and first lady just coming in to
She's a senator. She was Secretary of State.
No, and she ran against this
She was a
guy.
candidate, right?
Right,
and so she took this big, this deep breath, and she had that smile on her face, and she just walked out there with her shoulders held high, with her husband by her side, and you could see him squeezing her hand every few minutes, and I thought, what an amazing woman.
Yeah.
To have the strength to to go there and honor him, because it was a tough and dirty race in so many ways.
It was.
But she just showed it. Like I just thought she showed everything that she was made of in that brief moment.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And speaking of strong women, the very next day, there was a huge women's march on Washington. Not just there, all across the country. Yeah. There was marches even in Ottawa, in Canada, and it was over in Washington itself. It was close to, if not over, 200,000.
Actually, it was
women.
even more than that.
Was it?
Yeah, they did. They did. The last estimate they had was about 500,000.
Wow.
Yeah, between 400,000 and 500,000 people actually marched, and they estimated around the world about 2 million.
It was collectively.
Yeah,
altogether.
Which
that's impressive.
It is.
I sat down and I did watch a few of the speeches, a little bit here and there, but the one that I had to watch from beginning to end was Ashley Judd. She was passionate. She was powerful. She was to the point, and
and those were words actually written by a 19-year-old woman from Tennessee. That she was allowed to share.
Okay.
The woman had agreed to allow her to share those words.
Oh, wow.
And to be able to get up there and be able to say all that she said and remember it word for word, because it was written by somebody else, and I thought she was quite amazing, and and she felt strongly enough about what was said to do it. So. Good honor.
It was. So if you get a chance to, I think everybody should go on YouTube or wherever and check out some of the speeches that were made that day, especially in Washington, and see where people are coming from. Because even some of the interviews, I watched them interview one crowd of women, and she said it has nothing to do, or not only to do with we are women. It's respect for everybody, the color, the sexual orientation, women, it's everything, right?
Yeah,
it's
not, for sure.
So definitely check that out. It's worth seeing for sure.
Oh yeah, I thought it was amazing, and we had marches here in New Brunswick. St. John was one of them that I caught sight of, and it really was speaking about. Not just women, but just those who tend to be marginalized in general. And I thought that was a phenomenal message, and that your voice is heard. That these 2 million women around the world, decided to stand with those people that feel like they're not part of society.
We are all the same species.
Yeah, that's exactly, We're all human.
We're all human.
We're all human.
Right? What difference does any of that other stuff make?
That's right.
I don't get it. To me, it seems pretty simple.
Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty phenomenal that they were able to coordinate that kind of, and everyone that I saw.
All through Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, or via the internet, for sure.
Exactly. And every march that I saw a report on, they said they had anticipated half of that crowd. So they had only anticipated 100,000 in New York, and they got 400,000.
Every single place went over and above, and if I'm not mistaken, they actually couldn't walk down past because there were so many.
Yeah.
It was a security risk, maybe.
Yeah. Well, but there was and I think it was New York, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was in one of the larger places. I don't know if it was Boston or New York or DC, but the police lined the streets not to create a barricade, but to show support.
Oh, right.
And in DC, they said with that crowd of 400 or 500,000 people, not one arrest. It was peaceful.
Exactly.
So it made more of a statement by being peaceful
that's just it.
than anything else.
When I seen on Facebook today, just one little small note to close this subject, Rosa Parks sitting at the back of the bus, and it said, you know, she or not sitting at the back, but would refuse to move to the back of the bus.
Yeah.
But she did not trash the bus.
That's right. That's
right?
exactly.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much clearer than that.
That's exactly.
You know, you can make your statement without trashing the bus.
That's right. I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
Up next, we want to bring up a sad little note, unfortunately. A former guest, just a second time guest that we had, who was on again, unfortunately passed away this weekend. Our Bill Mullen.
Yeah.
We say our because for Miramichi, he was our.
Yes.
Right?
Very much so. And he was a longtime volunteer with Rogers TV as well.
Yes.
With, you know, and had the Miramichi Opry show on. And you know,
and
he came.
Shop.
Yes, exactly. And he came on just before Christmas. I think it was the first week in December to talk about Miramichi Opry, and we love
New
having
Year's
Bill.
Eve bash they were going to be having,
and he's always such a joy to be around, and you know, and I think we have truly lost someone special in our community, but it's you know, from all of us, I think it's to send it out to his family.
Yeah,
you know,
family,
that
his children,
his
wife.
That they have lost, you know, a piece of their heart. We've lost somebody special in our community, but they've lost a piece of their heart, and you know, he's irreplaceable.
For sure, for sure. So thoughts and prayers go out to his wife and his family. He will be truly and dearly missed, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. What else is happening? I wanted to mention, I've got 2 weeks in now. If you had listened a couple of weeks ago, our New Year's resolutions, wanted to change things around and stuff like that, and I wanted to try and get stronger was mine. And I got researching and little things on Facebook. This time of year, you see everything. Try this diet and do this, and all new kinds of things to try. Yeah. So I've got 2 weeks in.
Wow.
No bread, no rice, no pasta.
Holy cow.
Or potatoes.
Wow.
I know, right? And you would think I'd be pulling my hair out, but I'm not. I'm coming up with different ideas and being able to, well, the internet's so fantastic. Yes. I'm like, dearly to God, I should be able to have something sweet. And you just plug it in and they come up with the recipe is right there for you. And but I'm really looking forward to seeing how all of this goes. If anybody has any thoughts and ideas on the ketogenic diet, if you've ever tried it, it's a lot like paleo. Some people refer it to Atkins.
Okay.
So you're literally switching your macronutrients right around to, you know, your protein, your carbs, and your fats. The percentage in which they're supposed to be are totally turned around. So, and fat is I'm allowed to have, but it's the good fats, right? Kind of thing. And it's making all the difference as far as not having the cravings. And staying full, you know, when I do have a meal and stuff like that. So, and meal prep. I've actually been doing this meal prep thing that everybody is raving about. And thank you for the pictures and ideas on Facebook. Like, I don't know who's posting everything and sharing, but keep going. It's giving me great ideas.
Well, and it's funny, Clarissa Harris-LeBreton, who is, of course, a wonderful friend of our show, started prepping 2 or 3 years ago herself.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she really credits that with, you know, keeping her life under control, because I mean, she's got a crazy schedule like most of us, and she's got, you know, her daughter at home and her husband, and then she was on the road a lot. So she and I are gonna, you know, talk more about that one of these days. We'll have her back to talk about meal prep. But so then about a year ago, she created a Facebook group called Prep My Week. And so
I'll have to check that
out. And so a lot of us, you know, joined that group, and I'll be really completely and totally honest. Probably prepped once over the last year and a half since I joined the group, right? And I would say, oh yeah, I'm going to do it this week.
Buy great Tupperware.
Yeah, well, I did that. I did that lots and didn't do anything with it. Yeah, I did that lots and didn't do anything with it. So I kept saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do it next week or whatever, and I didn't. And then before Christmas, and I, you know, part of my resolution was to feel better this year, right?
Exactly.
And so I took some steps to do that before Christmas, and I wanted to start before Christmas because I didn't want it to be my New Year's resolution. I didn't want it to be that thing that I only start on January 1st and give up on, which I've done. You know,
we've all done.
We've all done
1,000
right?
times. Yeah.
I wanted it to be part of, taking care of me this year. And so, and I did. And so I've made some steps. And one of these days we'll talk about that too. But anyway, so I've made some serious steps on, on feeling better. And part of that is I actually do prep now too.
Oh, do you?
I do. And so like
Okay.
I posted a couple pictures last week and Clarissa's like, oh my God, that looks awesome. And like those little eggy cups, that I have every
they're
morning and all that
cheesy.
kind of stuff. So
I know.
yeah, meal prep has become my friend.
I'm not doing it for the entire week.
Me either.
I find a few days ahead kind of thing. For
Lunch
me,
is
I
my
like
big
the
thing.
food to be a little fresher than that.
Lunch is my big thing where I prep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of it, I'm actually cooking at home, which I've
Go on.
never done.
Oh
I haven't done it
we'll
probably.
have to do a cooking show
I
at your
know,
house.
I know. I haven't done it probably
Right?
for about 5 years,
Oh, go
honestly.
on.
Yeah.
Well, talking about that whole thing and dieting and feeling better and all of that, I have actually come across some interesting information over the weekend about all of that. And this is not your favorite subject at all. But did you know that there is an actual, in St. John, that I'm going to call it a poop clinic because I really don't know what the real name of it is. And Hydro Cleanse, where they go in and they extract everything.
Oh my.
For, you know what I mean? And like totally cleanse, like, so that you can start fresh.
No.
And then they can pump you full of, I wanted to say antibiotics, but that's wrong. Probiotics.
Okay.
And vitamins and different things like
Wow.
that. And where that's always been an issue for me, I'm just like, I might sign up for that.
You'll have to tell me how that goes.
And she can tell with what they're able to remove, what you had when, and how old it is, and whether things look good or bad.
Oh my goodness.
But that's a real thing. That's out there, and I'm going to be checking it out. So I'll keep stay posted because I'm going to keep filling yous all in.
You let me know how that goes. So anybody that knows me knows that I do not discuss it.
No.
It's not a conversation
It's
I
not
ever
a word
have.
she even
It's not.
says.
It's not a word I can talk about.
No.
It's one of my hang-ups. I freely admit it. Everybody that knows me knows that. So I'm going to let Audrey take this one altogether, and then we'll come back.
It's very important that, like, pooping is important. You have to do it often and well. There is a bad end of it.
I'm not jumping into that.
No pun.
I'm not commenting.
We have more show coming up. We want to remind everybody of our guests just before we go to
Yes.
break. We have, actually, we're going to have Rachel on first.
Yes.
Rachel Bernard's going to come up first, and she's going to talk to us from Carrefour Beausoleil's Community Center.
Yeah. We're
And
looking forward
then
to that.
after that break, we're going to bring on Bernie Copa, and he's going to talk to us about the Miramichi Folklore Park from Renews.
I know. I'm
Fill us all
excited.
in with everything that's
Lots
happening
going
there.
on.
So we're going to be back with more Have a Chat after the break. Don't go away. There's more show coming right up. Welcome back to more Have a Chat. We're back from our little break, and up next we have a fabulous guest joining us. We have Rachel Bernard joining us. Hello.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Thanks so much for joining us
No
today. You're here from the Carrefour Beausoleil Community Center to
That's
talk
right.
to us all about everything that's happening over there. But first, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm not originally from Miramichi. I know. So I never got that Chatham Newcastle thing.
We might be getting into later.
No,
We're
yeah.
beyond it, so we're good.
We're beyond
Okay,
it.
no, I'm
Yeah.
originally from Dalhousie, actually,
neat.
and I
Okay.
moved here in 2000, and that's where I got to know the Carrefour Beausoleil a little bit more because my daughter went to the French school because
Okay.
the Carrefour Beausoleil building is known as the French school.
It is.
That's
yeah.
right.
But for people that have never visited the area, or the center, it's a center and a school. So there's two. We have
There's
two
two parts.
businesses, if you
Okay.
want. The school is
Okay.
on one side, and the community center is on the other side.
But Rachel didn't tell you that she's a fantastic actress.
Ooh.
Well, you know, it's not.
What plays
So
have
by
you
the way,
done?
I'm a fantastic actress.
She is, though.
I'm sorry, I must have missed you at the Golden Globe.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes,
Yeah, I slipped right in.
Right in there.
She didn't want to do the red carpet. She just wanted to go right in. Yeah.
That's
But
what
you know, I mean, you've been involved in theater for a long time.
I've been acting for 17 years now.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, and I've
Oh, that's fantastic.
directed a few plays with the school because we have
Okay.
because we're connected and we're in the same building.
Right.
And my work is community based. We've started up the school has a troupe, a drama club, a high school troupe, and I say troupe in French, but do we say troupe in English
Yeah, I
also?
can. Yeah,
Okay. So I've been directing. I directed them for about 15 years, along with another coworker of mine, Lynn Thibodeau, and and then the adult troupe also, drama club, is very busy and very active. And I've been with them since I moved here in 2000. We started it actually in 2000.
Wow.
Well, you say you're two separate things. So, but the community center, is it the French community center?
It is a French community center, and although it's a French community center,
right.
It's open to everybody. It's
That's
just
right.
it's just that in the city of Miramichi, we've always had
Chatham,
theaters.
Newcastle.
Well, no. But music-wise, theater-wise, it's always been in English because I mean it's the easiest, right? I mean everybody speaks English, but there's also a big French community presence here that a lot of people don't know about. Maybe not necessarily right in Miramichi, although there are a lot of people from Miramichi that are French. The surrounding areas are also very French. When you look, if you go further back to Neguac, and Rogersville, and so they tend to gravitate a lot to Miramichi. So to have a French community center is great because for people that do not speak English, that need services that they can't get anywhere else, then they can come to us, and then we can tell them, you know what, go to City Hall. There are people there that are bilingual. Go to, we can guide them to go anywhere in the city or on the outskirts that they need, for any kind of help that they need.
Yeah, exactly. In whatever areas, you know where it is that they can get the help.
And it's gotten even better in the last few years because the community center, the Carrefour Communautaire Beausoleil, is partnering a lot with the city, and again we can talk about that after, but we've been partnering with different businesses, different associations around the city, and people are starting to know who we are a little bit more and realize things have changed in the last few years. Back in 1986, where actually we just celebrated 30 years at the community center and the school. Yes, it's been 30 years. Wow. We had a big celebration last June.
Yes.
You were there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while. It's been like 6 months.
I know, that was a long time ago.
You're at everything.
I know, that was a long time ago.
It gets a little confusing.
Yeah. So we just celebrated 30 years. And 30 years ago, when the center and the schools were both built in one building, it was because we needed a place to be. Now we have that. Now what we're here to do, or to me, I think, the work that we're doing is the partnering, is to show people that we're not just a French community center. We're here to help others and for us to get help, from others also. I mean, nothing is being done by yourself when you work for center or for city.
No, not at all. Not looking to venture beyond or let others within.
Yeah,
right?
no. We're like it's an open spot, and because it was called the French school, I think people thought, we can't go there. It's a French school.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's a beautiful art gallery.
It is
in Carrefour Beausoleil in the community center portion, and it's phenomenal. And you display a lot of local artists as well.
We did. We just finished doing the
It'll come to you.
The Miramichi Art Corps. Miramichi Art Corps was here, and the stuff that they have is just amazing. It was beautiful. Yeah.
And the theater there has been used. I mean, we did Festival 506, the opening.
Wasn't that cool?
I know. Yeah, it was.
Opening night was there.
Yeah, it was the awards gala was there. That
Yes.
the not the gala. They didn't want to call it the gala, but the awards presentations.
Yes.
Were there, and it's a great little theater. And we've done some work too with the Miramichi Regional Music Festival, where we've had some parts at the school in the theater and things like that. So I think, I thought a really interesting opportunity for Rachel to talk about what's available as well, and that it is a part of our community. Yeah,
I say show it off.
Knows.
No, and I say show it off because we want people to come and see us. I'm the community development director there. But what I love to do is when the receptionist calls and says, Rachel, there's a person here that's never seen the center. Can you bring them? Oh my goodness, let me at them. And I show them places in the building that nobody knows about. We have a radio station. CKMI is a community-based radio station. It's a French radio station. We have a library.
There.
Yes.
There you go. We have a library. I mean, and it's a public library. It's just that it happens to be in the same building as a school and a community center. Can you imagine the luck that these kids have without leaving a building, and they just go in there and everything is there. Right. Yeah. We have a daycare center. We have a beautiful daycare center from kids from age 2 to after school program. We have kids that are bussed in from different schools to come because their parents are French speaking and the kids go to English school, but the parents are French. And they come, the after school program. It's unreal what we can do there. We have a rink.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Oh, you did? See? We have a rink, and you know what else we have? We have a community garden.
That part, I was just going to bring that part up because I think that is so unique in that your cafeteria is actually headed by a chef.
Our chef Pat.
Yeah, Chef Pat, and it's real food.
It's real food.
A lot of it's grown
right
on
there.
site.
Yeah.
And then that's what the kids eat in the school.
Nothing wrong with that.
And to make a connection between all of it, Pat has been with us for a little over 2 years. I've asked him, I don't know how many times to marry me, but I guess I'm on the list.
Okay.
Yeah, I can understand.
I have to wait. You've tasted his food, so you know.
I understand.
So what we
Take a number.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And he's gifted with food.
And he loves to say
Oh,
that,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, he's very gifted.
Yeah.
And so, so he loves what he does, and it shows. So what he's been doing is partnering with the school. Some of the kids at school come in and take classes with him. They've done after school programs with him. At the daycare center. So we have now the community garden. And at the end of summer, the little kids, because school has not started yet, the little kids from the daycare or after school program or a day camp that we have will pick some of the vegetables that are ready to pick, clean them up, get them ready, and they know they've done this. So what they do is that, like the first day of school, sometimes they'll prepare a soup and they'll share it with the kids at school. How good do you think that feels as a kid?
I think they should be doing that with high school kids who are getting ready to go out on their own.
Yeah. That was what we did
live
last
on their
year.
own.
Yeah.
We did that
Grow
last year.
Go right from farm to table, they call it,
Yeah.
right? At the rod. That's what they call it. Farm to table, your own table.
Yeah.
Last year, we have about 12 graduates per year in the school, right? Because it's a small school. There's, I think, although we've grown quite a bit, we're up to 270 some children at the school from kindergarten to grade 12.
Right.
So what Pat has done with another one of my coworkers is get the group of graduates together and how to eat well when you go to university or you go to school or you go on your own.
Hard.
And they've done all natural products. And they ended up leaving, I think, with a crock pot or something at the end of the course. It was like a 4-week, like one day a week kind of thing.
Crock-pot's my friend.
Is it? Is
I
it?
haven't embraced a crock pot yet.
I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I had it for a long time before I did.
Yeah, no,
but
I haven't. I have one.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't
I
done
don't
anything
crock
with
pot.
it.
No. that's
But
just it.
and then there's cultural activities that happen at Carrefour too.
Yes, and you know what? I was sitting with Bernie Kolpa, who's coming after,
Yes.
and he's got this nice thing all set up, listed. I went, oh my goodness, I have nothing. I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants.
And that's what we do every week.
all the time.
I saw how easy it was, the two of you talking, so I figured, that's going to go well.
Yeah.
So we have at least one show per month. And it's diverse. It's not just French-based, as most people might think. We also have a dance festival every March. The dance festival is the first one that has I shouldn't say non-speaking, because dance, I mean, everybody can watch dance, right?
Yeah.
We've had everything from the Atlantic Ballet to hip-hop and it's open to everybody. So it goes on like through a week, the first week of March, I think it is. And they also have workshops. So these professional artists give workshops to sometimes general public, sometimes just to schools that, do dance or performing or whatever. And it's unbelievable. And the people that have come the first year, this is our 5th year doing the dance festival. And every time we've had people come in for the first time, they've come back every year.
Do you have to be from a dance company, or can you just be?
No, well, it depends.
own,
It
or-
depends on the artists that do come each
She's
year.
asking if our uncoordinated
I'm like, we could put a routine together. We could register and come perform.
Be careful.
Oh,
Be careful what you ask for.
Oh,
You never know.
is there like open mic night or whatever that we can
groove.
do?
Imagine how
Amateur
funny
night?
that would be.
Amateur
There
night.
you
That's
go.
what
That
we
would be
need.
funny.
I know.
It would be hilarious. You could make a lot of money.
Well, I can tell you one of my secret dreams.
Oh, no.
One of my
Be
secret
careful
dreams.
what you say.
One of my secret dreams, though, is to dance with the Nelson Doyle dancers.
Oh, you're kidding.
No,
Really?
always.
Ellen, we'll have to mention that.
Always.
to Ellen.
For years, I want to bounce around the stage like they do, coordinatedly. Currently, I
Yeah,
bounce
she
around.
wants to look like she knows what
Yes.
she's doing.
Currently, I bounce around uncoordinatedly, not with
But
them,
you
but
admit
by
it, though.
myself.
That's
yeah.
all by
Yeah.
yourself.
I would like to be. I have always wanted to dance.
I have
with them.
connections. I'll try to see what I can do
I don't
for
know
you.
if that's a good
No.
thing, but
No, I love. Well,
My
I danced
dancing
for
is better.
years. I danced for years with Ellen Karasak and up through
Okay.
the years. But I'd love for there to be something for our age.
I
group.
was a competitive ballroom dancer.
Oh, wow.
I would have loved to have done that.
Wow.
Was.
Yeah,
But
I
you
thought
know-
of even traveling to Moncton to do that because
Yeah.
they have one at
Really?
school
Because
there.
even, like for dancing, anything, I was a figure skater for many, many years, and if you take dance lessons,
Yeah.
I mean, it all kind of ties
Music.
in. Hockey
Each
player,
one
whatever.
needs music in order
Yeah.
to be able
Definitely.
Well, see, they don't let me sing on the show, right? Because it's really
That's
bad.
a different thing, though.
But my dancing would be okay.
We're afraid that you'll become a YouTube sensation and you'll no longer
all
be
the
able to
wrong
do the
things.
Have a Chat show.
For all the wrong reasons.
And there's some things you can't take back. Like
Does
a
it
YouTube
matter
video.
why you get 10 million hits? Does it really matter?
Yes, in this case it does.
You could end up on the Ellen show.
Oh yeah, but I want it to be for a good reason.
Yes.
But no, and I've been to a couple of the show, not the dance shows, because I think that's
Different
I would love to see that. But I've been to a couple of the shows at Carrefour, and I think it's. I mean, there's symphonies that come, and there's some of that's not my thing.
What's coming up next?
Well, I was just mentioning, we have plays that are coming up, but one that maybe more people would know about. Everybody knows Angry Candy.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Angry
yeah,
Candy?
yeah.
Isabel?
They were on Canada's Got Talent.
Yes,
they made
that's
it
right.
to the almost, like there
She was at the very end, yeah.
She
Almost
made it
there,
to the
yeah.
end.
Yeah.
She didn't win,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
amazing.
So Isabel now has ventured
Right.
on her own.
Oh.
I think she's working on a second album now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure.
Powerful voice, that
Is-
lady.
and she's got quite the presence on stage. And
She
she's
does.
coming in the spring. She's
Oh,
coming at the
wow.
Carrefour Beausoleil in the spring.
Wow.
And so that's,
fabulous.
and I mean, I don't have the list of everything,
No, of
unfortunately,
course.
because we have something. In 1 month we might have 2 or 3 different big acts that come.
Okay.
So if you go on their website, carrefourbeausoleil.ca,
Okay, on their website.
www.carrefourbeausoleil.ca.
Okay.
And you can find it. We have a page on Facebook that we
Update.
keep up
Yeah.
all the
Update.
time.
So like their page, and
Yes,
you'll be able to stay in
yes.
the loop of everything that you're doing and putting on and
Yes.
what's happening.
And
Perfect.
again, for so long, we were, I shouldn't say catering, but because French is the primary reason why the center is there, everything was written in French first and then slowly getting into putting it bilingual. So we are working on our website right now to freshen it
Okay.
up and to modernize it,
Yeah.
because I don't know about you, we don't have time to sit down and navigate through everything. I want to
No.
press on one button and get to
That's
it.
exactly. They say
Yeah.
a couple of clicks, and that's
And
about
that's
as
it.
much
That's,
as
I
people
went
really
to a
want
business
to.
class.
Yeah.
That's as much attention span is literally, it's
Yeah.
like 10, 15 seconds and a couple
That's-
of clicks.
that's
If
a
you
lot for
can't
me.
get, if I can't get to where I want to
Yes.
be and
Yeah.
see something that, then I'm out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what we're working on right now. So
Okay.
freshening up the page, the website, making it fully bilingual so that everybody can get a good look at it. And
That's exciting.
it is. Listen, it has been so busy the last couple of years that somebody asked me, "What do you do?" I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow, though, what I'm doing today. Like, no, but I don't.
Or what I
it's
did.
Just, yeah, exactly. And it's so much fun. I mean, I get to work with Veronique often.
That's-
More
that
and
alone.
more.
More and more,
Yeah.
Well, and this morning we launched an initiative, and we'll just kind of touch on it quickly at City Hall. And it's a partnership primarily to launch as we came together.
Right.
It was the Miramichi Regional Multicultural Association, Carrefour Beausoleil in the city. But since we started talking about the initiative, we've already gathered another ton of partners. Volunteer Miramichi is one. Miramichi Chamber of Commerce is another.
Horizon.
Everybody wants to be a part.
Horizon Health.
And it doesn't cost anything.
No, and the
No.
Rotary Club. So and what our initiative entirely is about is about bringing new people here. Whether it be new business, new Miramichiers, people from across our country to come back.
And you said new Miramichiers, and that's very specific because it doesn't have to be someone that comes from another country.
No.
It can be someone that's from Ontario that wants to
Exactly.
move in this.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot more too.
We do, and and the reason why the partnership came together is to provide a more collaborative approach, so that we're all working together, so that we're more efficient. Our resources go a whole lot further, and really, when someone comes to visit and they're thinking about moving here, thinking
Right.
about starting a business here, thinking about hiring our local
Residents.
residents,
Yeah.
we want to show them what life is like here. That when you move to Miramichi, it is a community that surrounds you and loves you and brings you in.
But at the same time, we will have lots to offer.
Exactly.
Right?
definitely.
Exactly.
At the same time,
Yeah.
because you've got these young families that do want to or are looking at coming here, and we have to give them a reason to want to come and
Yeah.
stay, and
Yeah.
for them to be able to raise their families and thrive.
Exactly.
Right?
And our Miramichiers that are here will benefit from that, right? The people that
right.
are already living here with us will benefit from people coming in and starting new businesses, paying property taxes, shopping in other businesses, or people that are moving here for a job, like at the payroll center, they're buying houses and they're shopping in our local stores and all of that. So we thought it, as a partnership was a really big bonus for all of our organizations and for the ones that are joining us, because it's meant to be entirely a community-driven initiative to actively assist the federal government and the provincial government in putting Miramichi first.
Exactly.
Putting us out
Miramichi
in
as
front.
the city
Yeah.
first.
And the region entirely. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, whether they move to Nigawak and come work in the city
Yeah.
or shop or whatever,
Yeah,
it doesn't
we're
matter.
central.
We're close
We're
enough.
very
Yeah,
central.
we're
We are.
central,
Yeah.
but really Nigawak, Rogersville, like those
That's-
commutes are.
Well, even
my sister
Bathurst.
lives in Montreal. Her commute to work is an hour
At least.
and that's just because of the traffic.
Yes,
That has
exactly.
nothing to do with the distance.
No,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really, that's not far.
So
communities.
yeah, and really from our partners, all we want is is that support to come out and meet with people as they come into the city and the region, and approach it as a partnership and not the Carrefour is doing just what the Carrefour is worried about, and
Yeah.
multicultural is just doing what multicultural is worried about, but together we go a whole lot further.
No,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
And the city, I mean, mixed in together. And we have about 45 people on staff every day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
That was
Rachel, for
funny.
I've
joining
been
us
on
today.
and on.
I know. That's why I'm jumping in. We're going to be taking another short break. We want to thank you for joining us and filling
you
us
for
all in. Check them out. They have a Facebook page. Like their page. You'll find out everything that's going on over there. You're not going to want to miss a thing. So if you're bored, tons of stuff to do. We'll be right back with more Have a Chat after the break. Welcome back to Have a Chat. Up next, we have joining us Bernie Copa, our next guest, talking to us about the Miramichi Folklore Park in Renews. That's quite the handle, Bernie.
Well, it is.
I was worried about saying your name wrong.
Well, but it's funny because you had done it 12 times the right way.
I know, exactly. Bound and determined
Well, it happens to all
to
of us.
mess up. Thanks for joining us this
My pleasure.
afternoon, Bernie. We are excited to hear everything you have to tell us about. Let us know a little bit about you, though, first.
Well, I've been involved in the theater for a number of years with the Heritage Players, and a few years back we decided that we wanted to have a place of our own to cut down on not only on traveling but control over sound and lights, which is always important. So with the help of the federal and provincial governments and very, very many hours of volunteers, much more than we had any right to expect, we got it done. So Bill Fraser here, his office has been great to work with. So they helped out an awful lot. We had a lot of local people lend us money to get us started, as we are a non-profit organization, so it's not an investment. So we call ourselves Miramichi Folklore Park, home of the Heritage Players. So we're open, it's almost exactly 4 years. February 1st will be our 4-year anniversary.
I didn't
So,
realize it was that long. Isn't that amazing? But isn't it amazing what volunteers can do?
It is. It's just incredible. It was just, there's so many that did so much.
Yeah.
So people have been very good to us too in the line of donations, not only of money, but artifacts, and we
Well,
have
it
a
would
little
take
museum.
a lot
and-
besides just the people. I would think the equipment and everything you need
Yeah,
to even just
yeah.
put on a play.
Yeah.
It doesn't just come together like that.
No, it does not. And we started a long time ago. It was in 07. So we've just we've got 10 years in as the Heritage Players. And every time we did a play, we'd take half of the money, divide it up amongst the cast and crew, so you know how much money
Yes.
they got, right?
So next to pennies, right?
That's it. That's
Pretty
it.
close to pennies for everybody.
So then the other half of any profit we made, we put into a bank account. We were able to purchase a lot of our own equipment over the years. So
Yeah,
it's
sound and
been
lighting
really
is huge when it comes to a play.
good. Yeah.
Because if you
And
can't
we
hear
just
and
turned
you
out,
can't see them, it's not the same play. No.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So we've been in there for a while. We just got our stage done last summer,
wow.
and so now we're able to put our plays on there too. So we've done a couple already, and we've got a number coming up. One for Canada 150, and Miramichi Tales from the Headwaters to the Bay. I've written it, and hopefully that'll be turning out pretty good. We hope to have it.
You wrote the play itself?
Well, and he slid that in there as
I'm
if
like,
it was
wait a
nothing.
minute.
But you've written and directed quite a few.
Yes, probably the majority of them,
Yeah.
but certainly not all of them. We had a number of other people that write plays, but every play that we've done to date has been in-house.
Yeah.
And everyone is based on people, places, and events on the Miramichi. So
Isn't
we're
that
quite
amazing?
pleased to have
almost
done
like
that.
true story, based on a true story kind
Well,
of place.
there's a little leeway here. There, artistic license
Yes.
taken in some
There's some
places,
characters,
but
eh?
there are some characters. There certainly are.
So
yeah.
you're an actor, a writer, producer, like I'm
Director,
like all I am.
He's
Wow.
all-
I'm
17
like,
hats, or maybe
Yeah.
18.
Cheap bottle washer, too, we call
Well, you
I know.
got that right.
I know.
I'm there too.
That's,
Exactly.
happened more than once.
Yeah.
So how large is your group?
Well,
Oh, my
it's
land.
kind of loose, but I mean, we've had over 100 people over the years. I mean, there is a kind of a core group,
Yeah.
but we've had over 100 people involved in our plays over the year, and we're always looking for more people to become involved. Some people come, some people go, some stay
Right.
with us. So.
We are not actresses.
No.
We are not good at
Well,
it.
maybe, yeah, but you never know. But seriously, I mean,
well,
I-
we do live pretty
We do,
good.
yeah, we
Well,
do.
Right?
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know
it-
how we do with a script.
Yeah.
That is the part that we're not
But I
brains
know
gone.
that a few years back, somebody had told me that one day I'd be singing and playing a guitar and mouth organ, a song that I wrote myself in front of 150 strangers. I'd say, yeah, right.
Really? Right?
That's
go
never
on
going to
then.
happen.
So were you always involved in theater, or that's
No,
just a new
no,
thing for you?
no.
Really?
Nothing in high school or as a kid?
A few little plays in high school.
thing you
that's
had to do,
about
right, in
it.
high school.
Yeah.
So your previous work was what?
I worked in the woods most of my life.
You did.
But I started learning some old Miramichi folk songs. I mean, when you're working in the woods, you hear
Yeah.
two sounds. The sound of the saw and that voice inside your head.
Right.
So in
Okay.
order to kind of organize that a little bit, I found out that my last name is Colpa, and there were a number of places. There used to be an old Colpa's Woodsman's Inn up on the Plaster Rock Highway many,
Yeah.
many years ago. And I found 4 or 5, I think, songs that mentioned the place. And I thought, well, hey, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So I started learning some of these songs, and from one thing led to another. And
Neat.
somebody asked us to put on a play about the Dungarvan Hoopers, so we did, and we
Yeah.
performed that 17 times to date.
Well,
and-
yeah, because I
Oh.
mean that's the one that everybody associates with
Yes,
the, with
yeah,
the
yeah.
Miramichi Heritage Players, right?
That's
that is
right,
that
that's
is the
right.
one that they most closely link to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
So what's coming up next now? Plays and entertainment. Do you have anything?
Well,
on board?
entertainment has become a bigger part of what we do than we
Okay.
had originally intended. It was
Okay.
going, like I say, it was going to be the home of the Heritage Players, and in getting started and opening the place up with what money and what assets we had, we weren't able to put in a stage, and it had a very low ceiling. So we had a little bandstand about yay high, and it just doesn't matter. I mean, people at the back are not going to be able to see
No.
at the front. So we tried it once, and it didn't work very well. So we went after the provincial and federal governments, and they were both great. And we were able to raise the roof, put in a stage.
Literally,
and
raise the roof.
Raise the roof. Raise
Yeah,
the roof.
literally raise
That
the roof.
wasn't a fundraiser.
No.
That wasn't a, yeah, that's a real thing they did.
That's right, that's right. It was 7'6", and now it's 15. So we doubled the height of the
Wow.
building. And again, an awful lot of help from local volunteers. So that was
Right.
great. So we went in, and now we put one play on at Halloween. We called it One October Evening, and it was Miramichi ghost stories. Some of them true, some of them we made up. And,
That's the best way to do it.
but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It really, really was. Crazy little witches and all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And then we put one on, we were asked to put one on for the 100th anniversary celebration of St. Bridget's Church in Renews.
Oh, yes.
So that went over really quite well, too. So we're working on one now for the Canada 150. And we don't have a date yet. We're just getting that finished up, and all our actors and cast and crew all set up. So we'll be starting the practices and whatnot on that.
Do you do auditions? Can anyone sign up? Do
We
you take
don't really do
children, or
auditions
you're
as
the
much as
already-
like if you want the job, you can have it kind of thing. So
That's our chance.
there's your chance. You're in. You're in. That's it.
We're in.
That's it. That's it. Hey,
on,
anytime, ladies.
Yeah,
we're
Anytime.
like,
Anytime. No, but speaking of that, all the first plays we did were mostly about men in the lumber camps and whatnot.
Right,
So
okay.
some woman come up to me and she said, "Wow,
Yeah.
how come you're not doing any plays about women?" And I said, "Look," I said, "you know,
Give me a minute."
tell me the story."
Yeah.
So anyway, Valerie Stewart, a very nice lady from the White Rapids, I had spoken to her, and her grandmother was a midwife. And I said,
Right.
perfect. So anyway, Valerie wrote the play, and that's
wow.
probably, yeah. So we put that on, I believe, 5 times so far.
Oh,
Grammy Grace, A
wow.
Midwife's Tale. So no, very open to many ideas.
How many people does the space sit?
We had a real nice concert in there the other night with a local fellow by the name of Adam Jardine, and he did great. He has relatives up home, so that always helps. And,
Yes.
That
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
packs the room.
Yes.
well, it doesn't hurt that he's very, very
Yeah.
good at what he
You're
does.
right. Yeah, right.
So actually, we had to kind of turn the lights on a couple of times to get the people to leave.
Family
so that
goes
was,
a long way, but
So-
it'll only go a long way if you're good too.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And he is. So we had over 90 people in there,
wow,
and we,
okay.
Nice.
we
That's a good
accommodated them
crowd.
quite
Yeah.
handily. Yeah. So that
Oh,
was good.
fantastic.
Well, tell me a little bit more about this around the world in 80 songs. What's
Well, that's
that all
something
about?
that I'm going to be speaking
guys
with
are up to.
Veronique about. We just spoke
Oh,
about
by
it.
the way,
Yes.
he wants to bring
well,
this up to you.
we've had a little conversation about it already.
Right, but we'll speak more about it. But no, it's always been my one of the things I wanted to do with this place is to celebrate all the diversity of cultures on this river. And I mean, everybody knows about the native peoples, the Acadians, the English, the French, the Scottish, and the Irish. But there's very, very much more.
Yeah.
And as you already spoke about, the latest probably being the Syrians.
Yep.
But there's South Koreans. There's people from all over the world.
Yep.
So what we'd like to have, and I know it's a bit of a pun, around the world in 80 songs.
Right.
But the idea being that, I mean, so a series of concerts. So say the first night we have Cuban, Irish, and Lebanese. And we'll each do a 40 to 45 minute set. And during that time, we'll have some just light foods. So Cuban foods while the Cubans are
I
playing.
love Cuban music.
I know, and I've
did a
gone to
trip
one
not
of
too
the
long
ago with the
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
That Cuban,
And-
Latin, Spanish kind of stuff. I
Well,
love
what
it.
a lot of people don't know about our region is that we have 180 families
That's right.
from that have emigrated from outside of Canada, and which represent 40 cultures and countries. So
40.
I know.
I know.
And we don't think
Surprising.
of that here as being that diverse,
No.
right?
You're
But
not
we
going to have
really
a problem putting 80 songs together.
Not at all, not at all. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem at all. A couple of events that you guys have put on over the years has hit some of those
Oh, yeah,
people
for
there,
sure.
So.
Yeah.
So maybe another night it could be Acadian, Canadian, Mi'kmaq, who
Yeah.
knows, whatever.
Right.
But I mean,
with food.
with,
There's always food.
with
Always
feed them and they will come.
I agree because
So-
we do the same.
Yes.
Another thing I'd like to do is I've got a little piece of land up there, and I've got one little place where there's this swale of black spruce would make perfect flagpoles.
Oh,
So I'd like to run up a bunch of flagpoles with the different countries'
Oh, yeah.
flags
Exactly.
on them to.
You should almost
represent
put
that.
the 80 songs with the international food. So, you know what I mean? And you have
Exactly.
the music to go with the
Oh,
food.
definitely.
Exactly,
There needs to be
exactly.
food.
But
Like,
not
I can
just,
see it.
but just not singers and songs, but dance,
Yeah.
art, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
whatever has to do with
Yes.
that, with those
Yeah.
people's
Yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
you know. So.
Yeah, because I think, we do get, I mean, I'm Irish Acadian, right? So that's, I concentrate on that part, right? On those two parts, because it's a lot to have two parts.
Yep.
And so, but I revel in all that, and I love it. And the one thing that the Multicultural Association, the Miramichi Regional Multicultural Association does exceptionally well is every June we have Multicultural Day with a potluck.
Yes, that's what it is.
And it is amazing. And we have our biggest crowd. We have, usually more than 100 people come out that day
Right.
and enjoy, and there's, entertainment and songs and dance and all that. And I love the idea of partnering because, again, it's bringing everybody in and creating a series of that.
That's right, that's right. When I first started this place, I had a lot of people tell me that, well, if you come to Miramichi, you'll have better luck running this business. And that may have been true. But I like to do it up home. That's where I'm from, Renews. And I like to be up there for a number of reasons, but one of them being, if people were to come to Miramichi, are they going to go to Renews, Blackfoot, Doketown,
Yeah.
Boys Town? They may not because the next museum or some of the next things are far away. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we won't. But if you have something
Yeah.
every few miles along the way, so I consider it a stepping stone
That's right,
along the river type
exactly.
of thing. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that eventually that will become a.
I mean, geographically, it's not that far.
Well, no, and I mean, I lived,
really
I
isn't.
lived in Ottawa and I lived in Montreal
Yes,
for
you would
years,
know.
right? And so
You know.
my commute to work or to any event that I wanted to go to was typically anywhere between an hour to an hour and 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I
You sort of
find
get spoiled here.
right, but I
with
still
that,
grumble
but-
now when I have to, drive to Renews. So, like, it's 20 minutes, right? It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But really, when I think about it, I'm like, well, I used to travel much more just to get to work. But if I'm going to something that I enjoy,
Well,
it
that's
really
when you can
doesn't.
put your music on and you
Yeah,
can sing.
you don't-
Just
I
to look
can
out for
sing.
the
The only-
moose.
and
Yeah,
the
that's
moose.
true. But yeah, so we have to remember that we are a region and we're very accessible, as
right.
far as our
That's right,
geography.
that's right, that's
we
right, yeah.
can drive to Point Sapin and Neguac and Renews and whatever
We
within
can go there and back in the same day.
a very short period of time.
That's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
that's right, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Do you have a website?
Facebook
page.
A Facebook page,
Okay.
Miramichi Folklore Park, but we also have another one that a friend has started up
Okay.
and she's going to be looking after for us.
Oh, good.
Like I said, I
Yes.
used to work in the woods,
Yes.
but anyway, Friends of Miramichi Folklore Park.
Oh,
So
neat.
yeah, so either one of those will
Okay.
bring you up to date on what we're doing in upcoming events. If I'm allowed, I'd like to talk about a couple of things that we're having up. We're going to have, we've been providing a venue for local musicians ever since we've started. We're going to be doing something that we did 10 years ago at Carrefour Beausoleil. We called it Miramichi Musical Portage. And what it was, we were taking, because a lot of the old folk songs are dying. Susan Butler's doing a great job.
Yes.
She's on our board of directors. by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But what we like to do, a lot of the old folk songs are dying with the singers.
Of course.
So we want to save those. We've done with the heritage players. We've kept very many of them alive by doing modern versions of those songs. So when we did this 10 years ago, it went over quite well. We're going to do it again. And the basic premise is that we take a traditional song.
Okay.
As an old guy, I'll come and sing it traditionally, and then you come in with your rock band, and then you do
do it.
a modern version. Someone else will sing another traditional song. You'll come in with your modern folk group or country group or
Yes.
jazz. We've had quite a few
neat.
people. Yeah, so it's a nice idea. So we're going to be doing
Yeah.
that again on February the 4th.
Oh, exciting.
February the 4th, that's coming up close.
Yes, it is. It is.
And
It's
that's
just under 2
actually
weeks.
in Renews at your,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah,
And you can get tickets for this?
no,
or-
it's just going to be at the
No?
door,
Open it?
$6
Okay.
to get in. That's the
Okay.
price we charge for pretty well everything we do up
Okay.
there,
Very
for the most
reasonable.
part.
Yeah.
It is. And another thing that we're going to be doing soon, last year we were contacted by Garrison Hill Booking Agency, and they operate between Sackville and St. John's, and she wanted to know if she could bring this lady by the name of Siobhan Miller to our place, and I said, let me think about it. She was wonderful, just a lovely person. She brought her upright bassist and guitarist fiddler with her. Everybody loved her. We had a good turnout. The Highland Society came out in force, and so we all want to have her back. She was great, especially the last song when they all came down off the stage. We put the spotlight on her. It was just really
that
nice.
sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
So
We'll
this
have to do little
year,
videos of it and put
Yeah.
them to Facebook so people can get a little taste of it,
okay,
and
that'd
that'll
be
drive them.
18 hats. Okay, but I'll see
That's how it
what I
goes
can do.
over.
Get the
That's it,
person who's
that's it.
doing your Facebook page,
Yeah,
that person there to
yeah,
look
yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so this year, and I'm not certain of a date right yet, but it's before St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
A fellow by the name of Paul McKenna Band. They're going to be coming. And from what I've been seeing, I looked at a couple of their videos on YouTube, and they're just amazing. They're considered.
See, we saw the videos.
That's it. You're right. So they're considered the best folk band to come out of Glasgow, Scotland in the last 20 years.
Fantastic.
They're multi-award winning. When I was talking to the lady at Garrison Hill, she informs me that when they're coming to do their tour of Canada, they're working all the major folk festivals, Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg, and
Renews.
On my land.
Of course.
So there.
We're on the map.
So,
I know.
we have a lovely spot up there again, thanks to so many people that have helped out, and we have good acoustics and good lighting. We have all our own equipment, so we're in
Fantastic.
pretty good shape.
Well, we want to thank you so much, Bernie, for coming and
No
filling
problem.
us all in. It sounds fantastic. There's lots to look forward to.
We can't
so
wait.
I know, that's just it. You have to get on those little videos. That's how we became famous.
Right, okay. all
Yes,
right,
in our
that's
own
good.
minds anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it. Well,
We
thanks
want to
very
thank
much.
everyone to our past guest there, Rachel. She was fabulous as well. And thank you to all our viewers for watching our show today. We've got lots of great guests coming up for upcoming shows, so you're not going to want to miss it. So you'll always want to tune in on Monday at 1 o'clock live. We'll see you next week.